When volunteering at the Lawrence Humane Society, your first priority should be safety. This section of the video will describe ways you can keep yourself and the dog safe during volunteering. Safety begins before you even leave your home. Protect yourself from injury by dressing for safety during your shift. All volunteers are required to wear closed-toed shoes when volunteering. Wearing any other types of shoes, such as flip-flops or Crocs, will not give you enough traction to walk safely around the shelter and may result in falls and injuries. We also recommend that you wear long pants when working at the shelter. Pants can help protect you from being scratched when walking dogs. We also recommend that you wear clothes that you don't mind getting a little dirty. Our dogs are going to be very happy to see you. The Lawrence Humane Society can house hundreds of dogs and cats every day. With a group of pets this large, the chief concern is preserving their health by minimizing the spread of illness. As a volunteer, you can help by following these basic hygiene practices. First, sanitize or wash your hands between every pet you touch at the shelter. This will help reduce the spread of illness between pets and can even help protect your health as well. You can also minimize the spread of germs by using fresh supplies for each dog that you walk. This includes getting a new leash and new toy. When you finish with your walk, put any dirty toys or leashes into the basket in the dog walking supply area so they can be cleaned by staff. There are also sometimes dirty toys in the yard. If you find toys in the yard that you didn't bring out, do not let your dog play with them. Instead, bring the toy back inside so it can be washed. Next, read kennel information before touching any animals in the shelter. This is often very difficult for new volunteers because the sheltered pets are very cute and will work very hard to get your attention. However, you must read the kennel information before touching pets. Information on the front of the kennel provides details about the health of each pet, including whether they're available for volunteers to work with. If any of that information instructs you to leave the pet alone, do not touch them. If you have any questions about the pet, ask a shelter staff member. They'll be able to provide more information about each of the animals. Shelter dogs have a lot of energy and are very excited to go out and play. As a result, the dogs can sometimes be difficult to handle at the start of the walk. To ensure that you can safely handle the dog and protect yourself and other visitors to the shelter, we recommend you start volunteering by choosing calm dogs who weigh no more than 40 or 50 pounds. This is no guarantee that the dog will be easy to handle. If you're uncomfortable at any time during the walk or don't think that you can handle the dog you're working with safely, take that dog back to their kennel. Trying to walk a dog that you can't control can lead to injury for yourself, the dog, or a visitor to the shelter. It can also reinforce a lot of bad behavior from the dog, which decreases the likelihood that that dog will be adopted. At the shelter, we use the expression, dogs that don't stay together, don't play together. This means that dogs that don't live in the same kennel should never touch one another. If unfamiliar dogs touch one another, it could result in the spread of germs or even the start of a fight between those dogs. Keep dogs from touching others by keeping your dog from touching the front of other dogs' kennels, by checking for other dogs before entering and exiting the shelter, and by giving other dogs lots of room when passing them outside to keep the dogs from touching. If two dogs live in the same kennel, do not try to walk them alone. New volunteers should walk only one dog at a time, and only those dogs who live alone. As you become more experienced, you can ask a shelter staff member or another volunteer to help you walk those dogs living together. Dogs that live in the same kennel can go to the same yard, but we recommend that you take these dogs to different yards because these dogs benefit from time alone with volunteers to learn skills and socialize with people. You'll also want to protect visitors and other people in the shelter by keeping the dog from jumping on people. Remember to take dogs through the kennel exit door, not through the lobby. Give visitors lots of room when walking sheltered dogs to minimize the dog's opportunity to jump on people. But if you can't provide lots of space, put yourself between the dog and the visitor to keep your dog from jumping on other people. Be sure to close all doors and gates behind you. Closing doors and gates keeps dogs safe by preventing them from getting out of the shelter. Closing gates outside, even when the yards are empty, can even give dogs extra opportunities to learn how to walk through gates using good behavior. Encouraging good behavior will be discussed in more detail in the next segment of the video. Finally, if your dog uses the bathroom outside, take a moment to clean up any solid waste they leave behind. There are poop bags and waste bins in each yard and located around the shelter to help. Not only does this minimize the spread of illness between dogs, it also makes the shelter a much nicer place to volunteer. If the dog's poop is too loose to pick up, tell a staff member. Diarrhea may be a symptom of illness in sheltered dogs. This section of the training video is now complete. Be sure that you've answered all the questions in your training study guide, and when you're ready, move on to the next section of the training video.